What's up, everybody? Nerdity Absurdity here, coming at you today with another action figure review. This is actually going to be a top 10 list of the best action figures that I collected last year in 2022. It's a new year, new camera, new review episode. Just a caveat for this, because I only started my action figure collecting journey at the end of 2021. This is going to be just figures I collected. There's no current year thing. Some of these are brand new figures, but some of them aren't. These are just what I picked up. I think that's good, though, because it sheds a spotlight on some older figures that maybe are worth getting. And there's probably a couple of underlooked figures that'll be appearing on this list, too. But first, some honorable mentions. First we have here is the Diamond Select Iron Giant. This figure, he doesn't make the list because he's not super posable. Honestly, I got him kind of into a sitting position here, and he can kind of, he's even got like a tiny little Hogard figure over there. You can kind of look at. He's got the Superman logo. Really nice sculpt. He looks like he's popping off of the screen and things like that. Really nice. He's pretty. The other thing too is he's not as big. You got him standing there. He's not as big as an Iron Giant figure would be. He's about what is he, like maybe 8 inches tall or something like that? This Diamond Select figure. He's pretty good, but he's still kind of small for an Iron Giant figure. I like how they scaled Hogarth down there, but he's a little bit small for an Iron Giant figure, and he's not super articulated. You can see the hips there. They don't really swivel around that much. You do get things like ankle cut there and things for the legs, but yeah, not super articulated, but a really nice figure nonetheless. Next we have this is General Grievous from the Black Series, and the good general here is, yeah, it's a similar situation. Despite the fact that he has 4 arms, not super articulated, these legs make him a little bit hard to stand up, but he looks great. He's got the cloth goods cape, and he's got, I mean, come on, he's a robot with 4 lightsabers, or a cyborg. I guess he's technically a cyborg. The likeness is good. Yeah, that cape is really good. Let's just get it out of the way of his face. But yeah, he's not super posable. So, unfortunately, the good general here just does not make the cut. But those are those figures. Let's get on to the top 10 list. So let's give you a 2-for-1. Let's talk about the bottom 2 right now. Let's talk about number 9 and number 10. And I've got them here together just because I have them posed up here together. It's Spinneret, and it is the Rhino. There we have them together, and you can see that Spinneret, I can't remember what web this came with, but Rhino can hold up Spinneret, which I think is pretty cool, honestly. Can hold her up there, and that's how I have them posed up on the shelf. There's a couple other figures involved in that display as well, but talking about Spinneret first, so what do I have to say about the Spider-Man, the Renew Your Vows 2-pack that came out this year? People are already touting it as, you know, the best Spider-Man figure that Marvel Legends has ever produced. I think somebody said it's the best figure they've ever produced until they released the next Spider-Man figure, which seems to be the way it goes. I want to give a bit of a caveat here for this top 10 list. This list could easily have been all Batman and Spider-Man figures, so I tried to limit that. You will see some Batman and Spider-Man figures, but I tried to limit it quite a bit, otherwise it would just be the entire top 10 list, because I collect a lot of Spider-Man and Batman. But Spinneret is a character who I really like. I really like the way she looks. I love the face. I love the articulation. I like it. Just aesthetically, she's really pleasing. Not a character I would have gone out of my way to collect, but here we are, and here she is, and she looks great. And the Rhino, I mean, I've done reviews on both of these figures. Rhino is, I'd probably put him a little bit higher than Spinneret. Spinneret's kind of like the dark horse here. It's like, didn't expect to like this figure, do. I, of course, know the figure of the Rhino. I wanted a big chonk to square off against my Spider-Man figures, to menace them a bit. He's got great articulation for a big chonk figure. The detail work in the sculpt is good. The reason why he's not higher, paint job, very simple, but a very good figure, and especially a pretty good figure for the price. So next we have, who do we have here? This is one you probably wouldn't suspect. I haven't heard anybody talking about this fellow. And it is Ragnarok. Ragnarok, Marvel Legends figure. Sorry, I was worried he was going to fall there. He's not even really fitting in the frame. But, whoop, there, he's gone down. So that's the thing about this figure, and that's probably why he's a little bit low on the list. It's hard for him to stand with this Mjolnir accessory he has here. There, I got him doing it there. But here's the thing about Ragnarok. I don't know anything about the character of Ragnarok, but this guy is the Thor in my Avengers collection. Ragnarok is a great Thor figure. And I know this because they are going to look, he's a great Thor figure in and of his own right. Maybe you don't like the sweeping back cape. The colors are really nice, the hair is nice. He comes with a kind of a cyborg head and a hand and a cyborg hand as well. It would have been nice to come with kind of an unhelmeted head for this figure, but here's the thing, he'll do you as a Thor in a pinch. From a distance, you can't tell that those eyes are red. If you wanted to, you could just paint them white or something. This accessory is fantastic. They literally have, and some people are like, why can you read that? It should be all blurry, but you can literally read the Thor inscription on this hammer, on every side of the hammer. That's just a cool kind of attention to detail, and Marvel Legends isn't really known for their paint, but he really pops on the shelf. He looks really good. I mean, this is a Thor figure. They are going to re-release this figure, this accessory. Maybe they'll add in a head, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just have all of this stuff you see here, repaint the eyes, and there, they'll do you a Thor. It's so weird to me that they didn't release this figure as a Thor, because to my knowledge, there isn't a Marvel Legends figure with this twirling Mjolnir accessory. And if you remember last year, the Diamond Select Thor that has that twirling hammer accessory, I said was the best Thor at the time. Now there's a couple other figures. I think there's a MAFEX one, but it's really expensive, and it looks very plasticky, very toy-like to me. It doesn't really look worth the price, so that wouldn't be the Thor in my collection. This guy, he's, 1/12 scale. He's 6-inch scale. With that Diamond Select, he's 7 inches tall, or he's 8 inches tall, or whatever it is. So, doesn't really fit in with my other Avengers team. He's a little bit too big. But this guy, he'll do you in a pinch. This is my Thor. This is my representation of Thor in my Avengers collection. And he's not too expensive. I picked him up at a convention for $45. I think you can get him for cheaper than that now. But yeah, Marvel Legends Thor. Marvel Legends Ragnarok, sorry, he's my Thor, and he does a really good job at that. And coming in is another familiar face, also new this year. We are looking at the Marvel Legends Beast. We're taking a look at Beast here. And Beast, what can I say about Beast? I mean, he's already made a couple of Action Figure of the Year lists. He's a basically repurpose of he's a repaint of body mold they've used before for Beast in 2 other versions. One was gray, one had kind of darker blue. I do like the darker blue accents a little bit better, but this feller, he comes with all the bells and whistles. He's got a neutral head. He has a snarling head and a neutral head, which is really much appreciated this time around. He has these vials, which are cool, and of course the cloth goods cape, which is surprisingly posable, considering it doesn't have a bendy wire. Like, look at that. I got his cape flowing in the wind. Like, look at that. That's great. So, yeah, new figure this year. I figure also this is kind of easier to come by. You can find that older. I was really torn between the two. I was really torn between the dark blue version and this version, putting it on the list. But this guy, he just comes with all the bells and whistles, and that makes it for me. And next we're coming at you with another big chunk. This guy has been in my display for about a year. This is the gigantic, falling over might knock over my other action figures, but this gigantic hunk of a man is Diamond Select's Juggernaut. And what was it, a Juggernaut? Here's the thing. Giant figure. There's him, there's Beast. Beast is kind of in front, but he is, holy crap, like that works for the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut is a big monster of a human being. Is augmented by his magic helmet and all that stuff. He's all roided up. He is a monster. I have my entire X-Men team basically taking on him, and it's yeah, he's gargantuan and he's lovely, and the paint job is great. It's a really nice, really kind of good, just kind of paint scheme. You get the burnish here. There's kind of like a wash here. You get everything going on in the back. You know, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Diamond Select, amazing, amazing paint work. And he's just a really impressive figure. He's a big chunk. Look at that. Look at those eyes and that mouth, those snarling teeth coming out of that helmet. That is fantastic. He doesn't have an extra head, but I wouldn't really want him in another head. This is like, this figure is perfect. He's huge, big chunk. Doesn't articulate super well, but for a big chunk, like, what do you want? He's the Juggernaut. He's like, this is a gigantic figure. I'm gonna put him like right in the back here, because he's just huge. But yeah, Juggernaut, lovely figure. The next figure is not one you might expect. I might even leave the camera at this angle because this figure is a little bit big. But this is a figure for me. I saw him at the convention and he just popped off the screen, and it is a big figure. Here's a Cyberman. Yeah, this Cyberman is, what can I say about him? He's not super articulated at all. He's actually very limited in terms of the articulation. He's got a cool thing going on. There's actually cloth underneath the armor here. It actually kind of looks like an actor playing a Cyberman wearing a Cyberman suit. That's cool, but he looks like he stepped right out of Doctor Who. You know, I'm a Doctor Who fan, and you don't get a lot of Doctor Who love this side of the pond. In Canada, it's very niche even now. Even at the kind of height in the David Tennant and Matt Smith eras, where it was kind of its most popular, it's still, you wouldn't get that same kind of love. But I love having this guy in my collection. This is just, it's a film accurate representation of that reboot costume from the era I grew up with. He looks like he just walked off of the screen. I can't tell you who the maker is, what the design is. I got this figure loose. I picked him up for 20 bucks. There's things like, there's a little bit of scuffage. There's a little bit of, you can see there's a little bit of wear and tear on the back there. I don't really know. Oh, apparently it's, no, that's just the licensing. I don't know who made the figure, but it's a beautiful figure. It is a beautiful figure. It is just accurate to that TV series. I love this Cyberman. It's the kind of thing where every time I look over at my shelf and I see him, it gives me joy. So that's why you have the Cyberman there. I'm going to stick him in the back. So next on the list we have, this is the Revoltech War Machine. It's a Revoltech figure. So he's very poseable, which is very nice. He comes with all of these bells and whistles. You can see he's got guns, and he's shooting stuff, and he's got all kinds of, just, this one's floppy a little bit right now. That's the thing about him. Very finicky to try and get him into the perfect position that you would want with all of these bells and whistles. But once you get him there, he stays. Other figures will flop over after a while. Not this guy. This guy will stay. So many things. He comes with so many guns, missiles, firing missiles. He comes with these blaster effects. He comes with these kind of opening and closing things. He comes with different fists. He's super poseable, again, because he's using those Revoltech joints. And because he's armored, it kind of works really well. You also got things like these shoulder pads that will like hide some sins. You can see in there, like, I get his arm up. There's the Revoltech joint. But honestly, with all of the action-y stuff going on, all of the kind of, what do you call it? All of the robotic armor stuff going on, it kind of works really well with this figure. And he just looks good. Like, the metals really pop. I like this kind of, even the plasticiness of the black here, or this charcoal color. I think that really works for the figure. I picked him up, and I picked up the Iron Man, the Revoltech Iron Man, bleeding edge armor Iron Man figure, simply because all of their components work together. So I got a whole butt ton of components that I can use with both of these figures, and that that figure is also an honorable mention, that Iron Man figure, because it looks really good as an Iron Man figure. He looks really metallic and shiny, and the golds and the reds, they really pop. I loved it. You can tell this is just a decked out figure, and I've had so much fun customizing him and posing him around. I couldn't not put him on this list. This SH Figuarts Joker, I've talked about him before. He is a pleasure to pose. He moves like butter. The sculpt is pretty amazing. It's pretty lovely there. It's just a great figure. He comes with a bunch of accessories. He comes with different Joker heads. He comes with this gun. Doesn't come with a bang gun. That would be nice, but he comes with this long gun, and it's really cool. And he's just, what can I tell you? He's just a good figure. He moves really well. He poses really well. He's really well built. He's painted really nicely. Like, look at the black around the eyes. And yeah, I love this design. I love this kind of retro aesthetic. You get all the buckles and things in there. And yeah, he's just super cool. Really, really cool. Really like it. Lots of fun. Next we have the number 2 figure on the list. My second favorite figure of the year. And it's going to be nobody's surprise that it's a Batman figure, and the Batman figure that I like, this is my favorite Batman figure that's in my collection right now. It is the 3 Jokers Batman. This guy's just tops. This guy is phenomenal, and he's just got that look. He looks Batman head to toe. There's a grittiness. There's the texture to the cloth on his cape is really nice. The logo is perfect. That's the quintessential Batman logo. I love the face, the way that's working there. I don't even mind that the ears aren't super pointy just because of the way it's sculpted. Well, the ears are pointy, I should say. They aren't super long. Usually I like longer ears on my Batman so that he looks more bat-like, but this really just gives that impression, the effect. The only things I would have done different with this figure, make the logo a little bit bigger and color in the trunks there to this darker gray color. That's it. That's all I would have done, and this would be the perfect Batman figure, the best Batman figure that McFarlane has ever released, or maybe anyone has ever released, especially at this price point. I haven't picked up any more high-end Batman figures. I've had my eye on that Hush one from MAFEX for a long time, so I'm not really putting it in that category. But for like a $30 figure, yeah, this is the best Batman. This 3 Jokers Batman from McFarlane DC. That's my second favorite of the year. And my first favorite of the year, this ain't going to be a surprise to many people. First I'm going to put out an honorable mention, because these two really go together. I have them posed up this way on the shelf. I have this green Goblin figure, and this Goblin figure is, I can't tell you where he came from, what wave, but I really like, he's not the retro design, he's the one that came before that, but I really like the the kind of just darker colors on him, and the expression he's got is really nice and things like that. You can see a little bit more of his expression there, and that's super cool. And things like that. And yeah, it's a really nice figure. He's an honorable mention, but I paired him up with my favorite figure of the year, who, it's going to be no surprise to anybody, is Spider-Man. This is the way I kind of have them paired on my shelf, fighting together. And yeah, it's the MAFEX we have going on here. We're looking at the MAFEX Amazing Spider-Man figure. This is the original. This isn't the re-release. I know the re-release came out this year, but I wanted to get this one because you can see that beautiful metallic color scheme, and this figure just does it all. This is my favorite Spider-Man figure in my collection. I've got a lot of great Spider-Man figures. He just does it all. He's got the look. He's got those metallic paints. He's got a whole bunch of accessories. He's got the articulation. He articulates, again, like butter. He's got toe articulation. He's got balls on the feet. The only things is that if you bend the feet too much, they'll pop right off. They won't break, but they will pop off, and you'll have to pop them on. And I had a little bit of problems with his hip there, so that's another thing. Look at him flying through the air. Isn't he just super cool? And yeah, the fact that I can just get him into this backwards position where he's just flipping through the air and things like that, and I don't know, it's really cool to me that I get all of this going from Spider-Man there. So yeah, those are my action figures of the year. Those are my favorites. Is in this shot right here, and I like them. I like them all quite a bit, quite a deal. It's been a good year for collecting action figures. It has been a good year for me, for expanding the collection. I feel like I didn't go too crazy, but I did get some really nice figures, so that's really nice there. And yeah, just it's I feel like there's been a lot of good releases. There has been a lot of crap, unfortunately, on the industry side. We've seen a lot of price gouging. We've seen a lot of consumer unfriendly practices. And I don't know if that's going to go away in the future. Honestly, that's up to us as consumers to say, hey, we're not going to pick up windowless packaging anymore. If there's a figure I really like, but it's in a windowless package, I'm going to say goodbye to that. And there's been some sadness. There's been a couple of toy stores went under. There was a toy store in Toronto, which went under, and I was sad. I wanted to be, supporting a local establishment and things like that, but they went under, and I had a lot of pre-orders with them, so I'm going to be looking at hopefully getting refunds on that. I think the owner was sick, and that's basically what happened there. But yeah, it's been a year full of ups and downs. But in terms of where my collection is at, I'm happy. I'm happy with these picks for the year. My top 10 and my honorable mentions, and they've all just been. It's just been a good time. And I'm really happy with the way things have turned out. So again, yeah, new year, new camera. I'm still learning it, so I don't know how great things are looking right now. But this is kind of an experiment. But thank you, everybody who has been, watching this content and has been enjoying it and has been liking and commenting on videos and things like that. That means a good deal to me. This is a lot of fun doing this channel, and I like the fact that people obviously you want to do it because people enjoy it, and just share that love of action figures that we all have. Like it's a fun way to reach out to the community and say, hey, this is what I've been liking. This is what I've been up to this year. So yeah, I'm really happy with it's been a good year. So here's to another great 2023 where we'll hopefully have some great releases and some great new figures. Okay, everybody, that's all from me. Until next time, remember, everybody, be kind to each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.